Hey guys, so I'm just doing a short video about something that I find particularly useful for rogue. Now obviously most rogues tend to use 2 or 3 weapons. As an example, you have your main hand, you have your offhand, which will most likely have a weapon chain on it, and then eventually when you can afford the weapon again, if it's still early to mid-season, then you'll be able to get another one and enchant it with Berserking. The reason you do this is any comp that doesn't feature a class that can disarm you can just weapon swap, and you can do it after the gates open obviously, so this allows you to min max. If you don't rely on the hit cap from titanium weapon chain, which gives 28, you can freely do this. So the reason I bring this up is because there's a useful weapon swap macro that I learned. So it says slash equip slot 17, which means put in my offhand Relentless Gladiator's Eviscerator. So I've got my Eviscerator, and obviously I've got wound poison on it and it's titanium weapon chain. Since I've got a second one which has Berserking in my bag with the same name, and I've got 2 of them, if I bind that macro to a key and press it, as you can see, I've got Berserking, boom, I've got weapon chain, Berserking, weapon chain. So I got a bit giddy with this and I thought, well, you could also do the same thing but chuck in anesthetic poison, which removes enrage effects, which you can use to kill feral druids faster so they can't frenzied regen, and also warriors, you can take their enrage off them to get fear CCs which they can't break out of. Anyways, the reason I mention this is because since I noticed I've got one bind I can freely swap between 2 weapons, I also made another macro doing the same thing for Relentless Gladiator's Dirk. So as you can see, it's got anesthetic poison on in my bag. But then I thought, what happens when I play against something like Mage Priest, for example, Mage Discipline Priest? Neither of them can disarm. Well, since rogues have Deadly Brew when you play Assassination, whenever you apply mind-numbing poison or instant or wound, it automatically applies crippling even if it's not on your weapons. So I thought, since I've got a Dirk that's got anesthetic poison on, why don't I add another one that's also got mind numbing poison on? So essentially what I've got here is it'll always start in the same order. So for me, if I swap to a Dirk and then go to this, yep, it does my weapon chain first. So if I need to swap from my weapon chain to anesthetic poison to shiv a warrior, anesthetic will always be my first Dirk. And then if I press it again, if I needed mind numbing, like say that there were a mage in the comp and it wasn't with a warrior who could disarm, boom, I always know it's for second hit. So I could go weapon chain, yep, berserking, yep, skip anesthetic and go straight to mind numbing. Yep. There we go. Titanium weapon chain, anesthetic, mind numbing, wound poison. And since it always starts in the same order, so like for me it'll go weapon chain, berserking, it all depends on where the 2 items of the same name are placed in your bag. But you can freely swap between, so regardless of what comp you play, after the gates open, you can just swap to what's appropriate. Just keep deadly poison on your main hand so that you can always envenom, and then you've freely got the choice of mind numbing, anesthetic poison, and berserking as well, in addition to weapon chains as well. So yeah, I thought that'd be useful for people.